Happy 420. I'm Kai.
And I'm Queen Reefer.
And you're watching
Stone Cold Murder.
Just a PSA, if you have any information to help solve a crime, you can go to crimestoppers.com to report any information anonymously.
This podcast contains material that might not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome back to Stone Cold Murder, Season 3, Episode 8. I'm Kai, and this is Queen Reefer. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Yeah.
Slaying the day?
Trying.
You're slaying the day.
I'm slaying something.
You're slaying. Slay. I put it down. I was only playing with it because we weren't talking. He doesn't believe in me. Let me have it. I'll prove myself. No, please. I'll prove myself. This will be a good challenge for me. Please.
It's out of the shot the whole time, and you pay attention that it's out of the shot. It's not out of the shot. I see it.
Get fucked.
You gotta pick it up every time. You take a drink of your Red Bull.
Get fucked, Matt. It's fine.
Well, see, that's why I wanted it out of the shot.
It's okay.
It's not okay.
It's a good challenge for me.
I hate this guy.
But I really want to touch it now.
God,
No, it's okay. It's a good exercise.
Is this recording?
yeah.
Thank God.
It's a good exercise. I haven't touched my hair clip. Tell me you're proud of me right now.
Tell me I'm good. Tell me I'm good. Tell me I'm good.
Matthew, just take it.
In the ass.
I touched the butt.
She almost touched it.
No, I didn't. I was here.
She said,
I touched the butt. I'm not gonna touch it. I can prove myself worthy.
it's nothing about your self-worth. It's more of just...
No, I can do it. I have a lot to prove to myself.
everything to do with your self-worth, for sure.
Yeah, if I touch that, I am worthless. That's what Matt told me.
That is what Matt told you, huh? Matt said Queen Reefer is worthless if she touches that thing that's off camera right now.
He did.
Well,
I
I'm sure you
looked
know
at
where
it.
it's at now because Queen has tried to touch and look at it multiple
I
times.
looked at it. I didn't touch it.
You guys let us know if you see her touch it, like Dora. She touched it. She touched it. Also, Merry Christmas, everyone.
She just called me Dora.
No, I said say it like Dora.
Bitch, I'm grown.
What's happening?
Dora's like 4 years old.
I didn't call you Dora. I said
You said she's like Dora.
Nor. I did Nord. I did Nord. That's why Matt is shaking his head. Because I said, you guys, let me know when she touches the thing, like Dora. She touched it. She touched it.
You said like Dora. You said you like Dora. I said, what the hell?
You know what? You're right. I said you look like Dora. 'Cause you're in that fucking purple shirt. Where's your fucking backpack? And your fucking map.
Well, I might as well put on my backpack because I'm going to carry you through this episode.
Jesus Christ.
Mic dropped. All right,
Alright,
let's get it.
pause.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Do you have anything
I'm
in
ready.
your backpack that'll help you focus?
You're so funny. Ha ha.
Dang. She spent a whole like beginning of an episode like roasting me and can't take a Dora joke.
I don't want to be Dora.
I am gonna use it the whole time.
I don't care, actually. You know, Dora's the explorer. I'll go explore some things.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm fun with it. Dora, Dora. Hola, soy Dora.
She's crying through the pain.
I actually can do a mean Dora impression.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to hear?
Sure.
It's gonna be so bad since I'm doing it on command, like my Australian accent now.
That was funny as shit.
All right. It's kind of loud, so let's scoot back. Ready? Hola!
Poor Matt.
Okay, ready? Hola! Soy Dora!
Does it have to be at the octave?
Yes, otherwise I can't do it. That's why I scooted back. You're welcome. Hola! Soy... Hola! Soy Dora! See, and then it just doesn't...
No!
Lost. She touched it. She touched it.
Say, swiper, no swiping.
I hope you guys are high because I am blazed. Clearly. We're going to get this thing started finally. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Our story starts out on the evening of December 23rd, 1992. It was a very cold and foggy night in Watton, Norfolk, which is located in England, not Norfolk, Virginia. I put it in there because I figured most people would not know that, unless you're from England, maybe Norfolk.
Yeah, I automatically went to the other Norfolk.
Virginia. Johanna Young was 14 at the time of our story, and on this cold, foggy day, she asked her mom if she could go out for a while. Johanna's mom confirmed that she could leave for a while as long as she wasn't out too late, which I think is fair, especially with it being Christmas time. Equipment. Mary Chrysler. Johanna left her home at about 7:30 p.m. that evening wearing a purple anorak. And just in case you don't know what an anorak is, because I sure didn't, it is a long pullover rain jacket that normally comes down to your hips.
So it's a rain jacket?
Yeah, but a pullover, not a zip up.
Oh.
Kind
I
of
got
looks like
one
those.
downstairs.
Yeah, like a North Face type jacket.
I got a pink rain jacket.
Nice.
I got a pink anorak.
Yeah. I had no idea what it was, so I was
Yeah, I
like
didn't
really
either.
just confused.
Thank you for educating me on
You're
fashion.
so welcome. Johanna had recently gotten her heart broken by her now ex-boyfriend, who was named Ryan Furman. And this breakup was actually so recent that her parents didn't know about it. And they had assumed that when she was leaving, she was actually going to meet Ryan that evening. She spent a lot of time at his house and, hanging out with him. She was 14, so makes sense. It seemed like she was just trying to get out of the house and get some fresh air and just kind of keep herself occupied after her relationship ended. Didn't really have any particular plans to go hang out with anybody, but was going out. So Johanna headed towards the town center at Walton and was spotted just kind of walking around the park area in that in the town center. And this was between 7:30 p.m. and 8:45 that she was spotted doing this. And after 8:45, there was no further sightings of Johanna, and she did not return home. Johanna's parents did not actually notice that she hadn't returned home until her alarm went off that morning, and she didn't respond to it. So I don't know I guess they didn't. Yeah, I guess they assumed that she had stayed at her boyfriend's house, so they went and turned off the alarm and didn't think anything of it because it was foggy that night, so they thought maybe she'd just not walk home, basically. And it wasn't until her father noticed that Johanna didn't pick up her papers that evening at 7 a.m. because she had a paper route that he finally was kind of like, okay, maybe that's not what happened. So they went ahead and reported it to the police. Yeah. So.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if it was like regular that she spent time at her boyfriend's or if it was just assumed that because of the foggy conditions, but they did say that it was unusual for her not to do her paper route at least. So
At
that's
least
what really,
that, like, yeah. Singled alarm.
Right. Due to go ahead.
Signaled.
Due to the unexplained nature of her disappearance, the case received a great deal of local publicity as the police searched for her. And on the afternoon of Saturday, December 26th, a man was walking his dogs down Griston Road, and this is also in Wanton, when he noticed a pair of shoes. He did not search any further other than seeing the shoes, and he went ahead and reported to the police that he had found shoes because he knew Johanna was missing. So after he reported it to the police were able to confirm that it was Johanna's training shoes, which tennis shoes in England. Training shoes. I thought that was cute.
I know. I love the like differences.
I know. It's adorable. Wonder if they like that with us or they hate it.
I don't know. Like I was watching 1,000-Pound Sisters the other day.
Yeah.
I love that show. And they went to England and they were asking their like taxi driver like what they call like certain things. And for sidewalks they call it the pavement.
The pavement.
Yeah. Just walking on the pavement.
Just the pavement.
I love it.
I love it too. Yeah, well they noticed her training shoes in the undergrowth. And they were 2 matchstick kickers. And both shoes had muddy soles, but they were both set neatly side by side each other on this unnamed road called Gillam's Drift. So I'm assuming it was unpaved since it says unmade. That's what I assumed. Yeah. They then found her tights in the same area, but in like a hedge, like a big bush. And after that, they went ahead and set up a search perimeter around the area to go ahead and look for Johanna. As they searched, they came across an old clay pit full of rainwater and rusty old oil drums. A search of the pit confirmed what everybody had feared, and they found Johanna Young's lifeless body floating face down in the water. And she was still wearing her purple jacket. The body was actually found approximately 120 to 140 yards from where her shoes had been found, so not too far. And like I said, Johanna's body was face down in the water, and her lower half of her body was nude, so she was wearing a jacket on the top half, but nothing on the bottom half. And like I said, they found her tights, but they did not find her pants at the time. Her body was covered in scratches, and a post-mortem examination revealed that the death was caused by drowning and a fractured skull. Yeah, which is really sad. But drowning.
Yeah, so she was alive after the fractured skull when she was put in the water.
Yeah. Which is atrocious.
Poor baby.
It's fucking atrocious.
That's sad.
I know. When the police went to her home to break the news to Johanna's father, Robert, who was actually described as a naturally gentle and mild-mannered man, he was obviously very upset and angry. Her mother, Carol, felt guilty for letting her go out without knowing where she was going, but most of all, they just felt baffled by the events of the last few days and didn't really know where to start because they didn't know why she was going out or who she was hanging out with or even that she broke up with her boyfriend. So I'm sure it was like a lot of unraveling as they were finding out this unfortunate news.
Yeah.
That's where we'll take our first smoke break.
And this smoke break is brought to you by Hair Clip. Slay.
Since police had located Johanna's body, they now focused on investigating her murder and trying to bring her family justice for this unspeakable crime. Unfortunately, this case did prove to be pretty difficult from the beginning for police. The long hours that she spent in the icy water had destroyed a lot of the evidence that might have helped the pathologist that was doing her autopsy. And he really couldn't even give them a time of death due to the body's condition and being in the water so long.
Oh, wow.
So it was like one of those cases that it's like, fuck, if they could have gotten to it a little bit sooner, maybe they could have more evidence, but also maybe not because of the water, you know?
How long in between her going missing in this again?
She went missing on the 23rd and her body was found on the 26th.
Okay. So it
was
spent some time in the water,
Yeah,
though.
right. And it was cold,
Mhm.
icy. Probably. I know it doesn't speed up decomposition, but I know it probably, because it's water, does wash off some stuff.
And probably
And it
like
preserves the body too.
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. So
Slows it down
right.
some.
So that's probably why she couldn't, or I don't know why. I'm assuming why the pathologist couldn't figure out a time of death.
Yeah.
Johanna's skull had been fractured, like we said earlier, and it was likely that she had still been alive and unconscious when she was thrown into the clay pit, and that she had died by drowning in the rainwater instead of the skull fracture. And although that she was half naked, she was not raped either.
Oh.
So that was interesting.
Well, at least that's like one good thing.
It's one good thing for sure. But it's just like an interesting thing. Because I feel like that does add a little bit more of a mystery to the story. Because unfortunately, like a lot of rapists reoffend. And a lot of times it does escalate. And so that's why you would see something like this in a case. But it does kind of add to the mystery of like, then why did you kill her? You know what I mean? Like, it's like unfortunate, but also fortunate.
Yeah.
You know? The pathologist believed that Johanna's skull was fractured by a fall rather than a blow to the head, which is even more interesting. And he found out that her skull was actually unusually thin. So it was like thinner than most people. So it had more of a chance of cracking than the average person, which is very unfortunate. Like, and probably why she was dumped into water instead of like, and probably not raped either. It probably was an accident. Anyways. It's just an interesting fact. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought that was crazy. They did find drag marks by the clay pit and matched them to the scratches on the lower half of Johanna's back. And it looked like her limp body may have been carried by two people instead of just one person. One at the head of her body and the other one on the feet, with her back like sagging in the middle. And that's why they could match the scratches, because they thought that as she was being dragged, that's what made those marks in the ground, and that's what scratched up her back rather than an attack or a fight.
Isn't that so like interesting that they're able to like come to these conclusions just based off of like scratches or something?
Right.
It's really interesting.
It is crazy, isn't it? They studied marks in the mud, found Johanna's footprints, and her footprints were leading about halfway down the road before they abruptly stopped. So they went ahead and took plaster casts of numerous other prints and tire marks that they found. And they were kind of hoping that one of them maybe belonged to the killer or would lead them to some kind of clue that would help them. But none of those tracks that they found even gave them any type of lead at all. Only thing that they really found was that she had footprints to a certain point and then they stopped. So they really couldn't even figure out why. Because of the foggy cold weather, there wasn't really a lot of foot traffic in the area. Nobody really out walking their dogs or doing, outside activities during this time. So there weren't really any eyewitnesses or anything that could say that they saw her other than that little time frame that she was at that park,
Mm-hmm. Was this close to that park?
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it made it really difficult to track down any potential eyewitnesses, or next to impossible to even find anybody that saw anything or thought that they saw anything for that matter, Police knocked on people's doors. They went door to door in the neighborhood, the surrounding area that they found Johanna in. And they did end up coming up with people who saw her. So several different sightings, including a man who had been walking in Gillam's Drift just after about 11 o'clock on the night Johanna disappeared. He and his dog had heard someone stumbling in the dark, and the man ran to fetch like a flashlight, to get like a little flashlight to see if he could shine it out and see something. But by the time he had come back, it was quiet and he had no idea who or what he had heard at all. So I think he just kind of chalked it up to maybe an animal or something.
Yeah.
Which is fair. But the police had no motive, no culprit, no leads. And for a while, it kind of stayed that way and stayed pretty cold. And unfortunately, they really didn't even have a place to start looking.
Yeah.
A major investigation took place during 1993 that led to a number of different arrests of different local men in the area. Even though they arrested and suspected many men, nobody had been charged in the connection with Johanna's death. They did, however, have just one singular suspect and a theory of what happened.
Is it her boyfriend?
Maybe.
Okay.
They just pretty much lacked all of the evidence that could connect him to the murder or the crime at all. So,
Can I put my glass on?
Yeah, because that's our next smoke break.
Sick, dude.
Sick, nasty.
I'm so good. I should get a clip. And this smoke break is brought to you by lip gloss, because your lips have to be popping.
My lip gloss is popping. My lip gloss be cool. I don't remember the rest of the words.
I don't either.
Something in the school.
What you know about me? What you know about me? What you know about me? What you know about me?
And we're back from our smoke break. So before our smoke break, we were kind of talking about the police, their investigation, and that they had kind of narrowed it down to one suspect in particular. This suspect was one of the older boys who hung around outside of Gateway, which was the area which Johanna's body was found and where she was last seen. And surprise, surprise, the local police already knew him pretty well. He was a small-time thief, and they suspected that he was bringing cannabis from, Threadford.
Bad boy, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boy, bad boy. I literally cannot help myself.
Yeah, because cannabis is so bad.
I couldn't.
As I just came back from a smoke break.
So is that the only reason? I assume
Well,
not.
he was a small-time thief, too. He was stealing bread.
What is small time
Just
thief?
kidding.
Just like little
Like
bits?
Aladdin type.
What?
That's how I would say. Aladdin.
Aladdin?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Have you not seen the Disney movie Aladdin?
I have. Oh,
Yeah.
like bread and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh.
Small time stuff.
Just
Maybe
a
some
small
chapstick
town
and
girl.
stuff. Living in a lonely world.
Yeah.
Took a midnight train going anywhere. So some of the kids around the area were getting pretty heavily interrogated by police just because it was a 14-year-old girl. Obviously, her parents didn't know much. They really didn't have anything to go off of. So they're like, maybe we can try some of the fellow students that were in the school and lived around the area. Some of them did end up talking to police. Most of them didn't. But those who did agreed that their suspect was selling them weed And that they also said that he was a pretty violent individual, which is an interesting add to the case.
Bo fell.
Oh, I really thought that was one of your dogs. Goodbye, Bo. We're opening presents now, apparently. So one of them said that he was violent and that he got his fingers broken by the suspect.
Ooh.
Another said that the suspect tried to stab them.
Oh.
Yeah. And then several of them also said that this individual really liked Johanna on top of it. So, interesting little description of this man, this little fellow here.
Okay, wait. But didn't they say it seemed like 2 people were involved? So do they have another suspect on top of him?
No, but they do assume that he did call someone as an accomplice to come help figure out what to do. Which is also always the crazy thing. I don't know if I have any friends that I could call and say, hey, I killed someone. Can you help me do this?
Yeah, no.
I don't know if I actually have any friends that would do it. Perhaps.
Sorry.
Maybe.
If you called me, I love you. If you called me and said something like that, I'd turn you in.
As you should. Honestly.
Sorry.
I would expect you to. Maybe I would be calling to have you do that because I was scared. I'm too pretty for prison. Actually,
I'm too pretty for prison.
I've said this a couple times. If I ever fucked up and went to prison, I think I would do okay. I'm tatted up. I think I would scare people off enough. I could also fight, so that's also part of it. That's a big part of it. I could also fight. And I'm a Gemini, which has little to nothing to do with it. But people are scared of me for no reason because of that fact. Anyways, rambling. Let's get on to the story. So he always liked Johanna. That's what we were talking about. And Johanna had several boyfriends by the time of her murder. And apparently he said that he wanted to make her his girlfriend. He wanted to be one of her boyfriends. So I don't think it ever happened, but that was the story around all the kids and what they were telling police, and a big primary reason as to why this guy was a suspect. Unfortunately, they don't name him in the story, which is probably good because it's an unsolved murder. And
he's just a kid.
Yeah. Anyways.
Does it talk about, like, the boyfriend at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit.
Because it's just weird, like, the same day, like, they break up or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That would be weird. My suspect.
Yeah. Always.
Okay.
The partner. At least
Continue.
The first suspect.
Mm-hmm.
Police wondered if it was possible that their suspect had heard about Ryan breaking up with Johanna and that he had followed her on that dark night. The police had already guessed that the killer must be a local man because they figured, well, how else would they find that clay pit to dump her in? Because it was located behind a lot of bushes and trees and stuff like that. That's not just normal. You can see it from the, path type thing. They did end up going to this suspect's place of employment so that they could talk to him. And while they were there, they told him that the employer told them that this man had disappeared just a few days after Christmas. Yes. And that the last time that they had seen him, he had scratches on his face.
Oh.
So he's looking pretty good for the suspect here. They discovered that he had recently repainted his car also. Repainted his car. Yeah. After Christmas too. And they did end up tracking him down eventually. They arrested him and they held him for questioning. They ended up seizing his car, his clothes, his shoes, and they took DNA samples from him. And then they sent everything off for testing. Fortunately, nothing came back because they really didn't have any DNA from Johanna because of her body being in the water for so long. So, yes, they had all these things to test, but nothing to compare it to.
Yeah.
So, it was really not helpful for them to convict this suspect because of that.
And you can't really without evidence.
No, you can't. So police and Johanna's family continue to ask and search for new information from local people and the surrounding area regarding anything that they may have seen. If, they may have heard the suspect saying anything to someone, because a lot of times they, don't keep it to themselves.
Yeah.
So none of that came up. There was nobody coming forward to have any information. I wonder maybe he didn't say anything.
Did they ever get like a search warrant for his like phone? Is that a thing? That's a thing. Could you get a search warrant for someone's phone?
Totally.
To see if like maybe he called anyone or said anything?
Totally. This was in 92. So may or may not have cell phone, may or may not have used their own phone, may have used a pay phone or something like that because, had those back then and stuff. What?
I can't resist.
I'm at a pay phone. Johanna's parents, Carol and Robert Young, wonder what she would have been doing, where her life would have been, and who she would have become if her life wasn't taken. Her father said, quote, "She had a lot of ambition, more or less a different one each time she thought about it," which is cute as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
For a while, she was going to be a motor mechanic so that she could help to mend the car when it wasn't starting. Which I'm like, ugh.
My heart.
I know. Then she was going to be an interior designer, but she then dropped that because she had to go to 2 years of college, and she was like, "Fuck no, I'm not doing that."
Relatable.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I totally understand that
Yeah.
because fuck school.
There was one point in my time, like I'm
Your
done or
time in
something.
prison.
No, when I was going to school, that I really wanted to be a neuroscientist. And then I looked it up because I was like, "Oh, what do I need to do to get into this?" And it was like 18 years of school. I said,
18 years of what?
"No,
But
never
no.
mind."
Yeah.
But I really was like interested in neuroscience for a long time.
Cool.
But that's too long.
Right. And it's expensive. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like, it might be one thing that you could do as like a part-time worker and a part-time student, but not with those bills on top of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's so hard.
But could you imagine? What do you do for work? I'm a neuroscientist.
I'd be sick.
That'd be
Sick
pretty
as fuck.
cool.
It would be. Yeah, so she said, "School, fuck that. I'm not going."
Yeah.
Which I respect. She was very bright and very artistic. She would have found something, he said, end quote. Her parents know all about the prime suspect and who he is, and Carol says that she sometimes sees him in town and that Robert occasionally has to walk past his house, which I'm like,
Could you? Oh, that'd be so hard.
I know.
I would probably move.
Yeah. It's like that Lovely Bones movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it kind of reminds me of.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh.
I couldn't stand it. Like,
No, me either. I couldn't. And probably as the suspect too, like, you have to know that they have those feelings towards you, so I'm sure it would be uncomfortable.
Or he doesn't give a fuck.
Or he
He's
doesn't
probably
give a
just
fuck.
like, I got away with it. Now you have to
he
watch
might
me
think
live
it's
my
funny.
life.
Yeah. Ew.
Mm-hmm.
Robert said, "I suppose I would like to knock 10 bells out of him, really. But that wouldn't really solve anything. It makes you feel uncomfortable to have him walking around. But to be fair, we can't be sure that it was him." A lot of people say it was him, but we don't know that for sure. I have often walked down the high street, which is where he lives, and look at the fellow's face and thought, could he have done it? Or maybe it's someone else with an odd face. Maybe I wonder if they could have done it. But Over the years, I've changed a bit. I suppose I've mellowed. I've become a bit more forgiving. And I did feel a lot of anger at first, but I feel a bit better now. We trust the police to sort it all out for us. They've been very good, end quote. I know. It's like kills me.
That makes me so sad.
I know. It's soul crushing, really.
I couldn't even imagine. Just like walking past. I'm sure it's not like the biggest town with like a whole bunch of people in it, since they see each other often, it seems like.
Yeah.
But like, just to walk by someone that's like a suspect in like your daughter's murder.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
No, I couldn't either. It takes a lot of willpower and strength to do something like that. Which I'm not sure I have completely.
Yeah, same.
The prime suspect, of course, to this day claims his innocence in the whole thing and insists that he didn't even know Johanna. Unfortunately, police are still investigating Johanna's case to this day. What are your thoughts?
Wait, he said he doesn't know Johanna?
That's what he said, yeah.
But hasn't everyone said he likes Johanna?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Liar.
Liar.
What? No lie. Yeah.
Well, that was sad. I don't like that case.
I'm sorry.
You did good, but it just makes me sad.
It is a really sad case. It's like, it seemed very, I mean, like, murder is senseless always, but this one really did seem like completely senseless. And if it was an accident, like, you should just tell someone, you know? Yeah, don't let the bystander effect happen to you. Report shit if you see it. Help people if they need it.
Help people out.
Yeah. Don't just stand there. Don't just record. Do some shit. Okay? Any other thoughts on the case?
No.
No. Me either. Well, sorry to have a sad Christmas case, but I hope everybody did have a good Christmas. Well, that's it, folks. I hope you've stuck around for this long, and if not, I don't blame you. But if so, thanks. Until next time, stay high,
Stay safe.
and thank you for watching.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know when we drop our next episode. If you want to see more of the host Kai, follow her at Chronic Chaos on all socials. Also, follow Queen Reefer at Queen Reefer on all socials. And if you'd like, catch her on Twitch, where she streams Monday and Friday.